Hello and welcome to a overview on the Ganzo G766 butterfly. As you might be able to tell from the name, this is a butterfly knife or a balisong. For those who don't know, it just means it has a blade in between these two handles that you just unfold like that, and you're good to go. That's it. You don't even need to latch it closed. Just the grip of you holding it keeps the blade nice and secure. No play, rock solid. These were, I think, originated in the Philippines long ago, and they have been villainized in a lot of media, and unfortunately, because a lot of laws follow media instead of reality, they were restricted in a lot of countries and states and cities and stuff. So if you're looking to get a balisong or butterfly knife, do check your local and state and provincial and all your local laws, because it might not be legal to even own one, let alone possess one in public. Again, because of really dumb laws not based on reality. I don't want to get into like politics and balisong history and stuff here that much. But this is a Ganzo. It cost me about $38. This is made in China. For those who don't know Ganzo, Ganzo did a lot of like, I call them clones, not counterfeits, but clones of different knives. They've branched off into more of their own unique designs these days. Like this, for example, is not a clone of anything in particular. It's just their own design. But like they would make like clones of the Benchmade Griptilian and the Ontario Rat and stuff, and they would change the lock and they would put an access lock in it before the access lock was actually legally allowed to be used by other people. And they would do a lot of shady stuff. They never made counterfeits. They never branded stuff with different brands. They never sold you a knife of theirs and called it a Benchmade. So I won't call them counterfeits, but they were a clone maker for a long time, and that's left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. Anyway, like I said, this knife is a newer design from them. It is not a clone of anything. It's just their own basic balisong. I mean, it's kind of generic. Blade is 440C, so you can see there, G766 440C. 440C, as far as I'm concerned, is a decent budget stainless these days. The handles are orange G10. It also comes in green and black G10. You can see there is some steel inserts here held in by screws. Those are T6 Torx, as well as steel inserts for the latch. And that's all the steel that's on this, has the blade, the inserts, and the hardware. So this knife for a 3.5-inch blade weighs, I think, 1.7 ounces, which is fantastic. That's one of the reasons I bought it. I like the idea of a full-size blade, and in this case, one with an actual very thin stock and very thin grind. So very nice slicer, in a very light and compact package, because folded up, this little guy is not very long, not very thick, not very heavy. It's just nice and simple. It's about as compact as you can get this kind of folding blade. So that's why I bought it. If I didn't mention already, it was about 38 bucks. I think it was like $42 on White Mountain, and they have a 10% off code. They have a variety of 10% off codes. I always use LTK because it's the shortest one, and I watch Love Them Knives channel, and that's his code. So yeah, LTK will get you 10% off anything on White Mountain Knives. While talking about White Mountain Knives, I will mention that I did buy this knife unknowingly used. It came to me, here's the box. I should have known right off the bat. The box was torn up, like somebody had roughly opened and closed it already. And it was sitting outside of its packaging inside. Like usually they come in like a plastic baggie inside a pouch, like a nylon pouch. It was sitting outside of those. All the screws were loose. And the tip is actually, I just noticed this earlier, the tip is actually a little bent to one side, like somebody dropped it on the tip. So somebody, I'm guessing, bought this from White Mountain, played around with it enough to loosen it up, dropped it on the tip, and then returned it because they're an asshole. And White Mountain, being run by a very cool guy, probably took their word for it that they just returned it for whatever bullshit reason, and that he didn't actually check it over very well, and then resold it to me. I can't blame him too much for that. I know he has a lot of volume. He's very good with returns and stuff. He can't check everything. He's one guy. As far as I know, it's a one-man show. So I'm not too mad about that. The screws I just snugged up. You might notice if you're a balisong expert, this one is actually kind of stiff right now. It was looser when I got it because everything was so loose, but I tuned it maybe a little too tight. I'm going to have to tweak that later. But the tip I can fix when I sharpen it. And I will have to sharpen this because through no fault of White Mountain or the previous owner, this factory edge is not actually all that good. I've heard that from other people. Ganzo, for some reason, the factory edges on their folding knives are usually pretty good, but on this balisong, they're known to not sharpen them very well. I don't know why that is. So when I sharpen it, I'll just fix the tip. It's no big deal. No harm, no foul. I'm not going to bug White Mountain about it. But I just wanted to mention that. Yeah, so if you want something inexpensive and light and thin and compact, for a balisong at least, I would say give one of these a shot. For 38 bucks, you can't really go wrong. I'm sure you could always resell it for not much less than you paid if you don't like it. I mean, it's a handy little blade, honestly. It's well made. I would recommend one of these over, what's the brand? Bear & Son. Bear & Son, Bear Ops, Benchmark, which I'm pretty sure is another brand of Bear & Son, or a copy of theirs, which is even worse. I recommend this over those. Those are made of literal cast pot metal, like zinc, and they're all pinned together. This is actual steel through and through. G10, which is, you know, not super strong, but it's not super flexible either. It's pretty tough, very durable. And the most important part is all the hardware can be replaced on this and tuned. I've seen so many reviews of Bear & Son and Bear Ops knives that are pinned together, and then someone flips them a bit and a pin breaks or the handle breaks or something, and then you can't do anything about it. Bear & Son has a lifetime warranty that they will fix or replace your stuff, but you have to pay shipping there and back. For a $30 knife, which is what Bear & Son are, you're going to end up paying half of the value of the knife just to ship it to them to replace a pin. So I don't think that warranty is all that effective in that case. So yeah, if you want a cheap knife and you don't really care about doing all the craziest tricks, because if I didn't mention already, this knife being so small and light does not lend itself well to a lot of tricks. You can do some basic one-handed opening and like spinning moves and stuff. I will not even try them because, again, this knife is kind of stiff at the moment. And also I'm under a camera. I don't want to smack into the tripod or hit the tip on this glass table. So it's more of a utility balisong than a flipper or a trick knife. So yeah, if you're not looking to do a bunch of sick flips and show off to your 15-year-old friends on Facebook, maybe look into this instead of a comparatively priced Bear & Son. This is just going to be a better knife. Better steel, better construction, better materials, better quality overall. It's just a better knife. It will do everything better than the Bear & Son will, except maybe flip. But again, the Bear & Son will probably break, and then you can't do shit with it anyway. So that's my overview. I will probably post an updated review on this because I'll probably end up keeping it for the long run. And I'll see you then.